Greetings and welcome back to more F1 25 single player career mode action here on the channel. And today we are just about to get ready for what is going to be round 6 of the Formula 1 World Championship, and the first of 3 races that we as a team get to call our home race. And that obviously can only mean one thing. That means we are heading for Miami. And as you can probably see on the screen, we'll enlarge it here. This weekend is a sprint weekend, so even more action than usual. We are just about to get ready to go into sprint qualifying. And then we have a 10-lap sprint race before we head into qualifying for the full Grand Prix, which you can see is going to be in wet weather conditions. So very different conditions for the sprint compared to the race, and the track itself obviously going to be different in the wet compared to the dry. So I am very much looking forward to that, and hopefully we can build on our good start to the season. As you can see here, we're just going to quickly run through it. Lando Norris at the moment spearheading his teammate in the lead of the Drivers' Championship, but it is quite close actually, with Charles Leclerc only 3 points behind Piastri for second place. And then we have to go a couple of points further down before we find Max Verstappen just ahead of George Russell, and then Lewis Hamilton in 6th. Andrea Kimi Antonelli currently sitting in P7 ahead of ourselves, and we are relatively close to the Italian rookie, so we are having a ding-dong fight with him. And Yuki Tsunoda at the moment, the man in P9 behind us on 14 points, just ahead of Isaac Hadjar, who is pushing that V-carb to its absolute limits to try and maybe convince the Red Bull higher ups that he deserves Tsunoda's seat. And as for the Constructors' Championship, we are currently in P5 quite comfortably, I want to say. We are 9 points ahead of Williams, and hopefully we are looking to build that gap here today in Miami. And since obviously we are in America as we get ready for sprint qualifying, we are carrying a special livery as well.
It is driver versus stopwatch. It is a venue that is new to Formula 1 in recent years, but you have to dance the car to the edge. It is Miami. It is qualifying. Who will take the pole?
And a beautiful scenery for this sprint weekend. And there we are in our machine. Special livery, as I said, and you can probably see it on the headrest. So definitely something that the fans can look forward to. But yeah, sprint qualifying, obviously a little bit different to normal qualifying. The first 2 quali sessions you are forced onto a medium tire, which is quite an interesting concept now that I think about it, as we just set the fuel load accordingly. But yeah, quite an interesting concept that they wanted to have SQ1 and SQ2 run on the medium tires. I didn't know that before I started playing the game here, so that is quite interesting. But
Checks
we are ready.
Everyone be aware, we've got a car leaving the garage
To get going here for sprint qualifying. And we are also carrying new engine parts. If you remember, at the end of the last episode in Jeddah, we started to see some loss of power due to the internal combustion engine being quite worn out. Well, we have a new power unit installed for this weekend, and hopefully that is going to aid us in potentially getting some really solid points here today. And the sun is quite low, so we're going to have the sun beaming into our eyes at the start of the lap. Always nice. But we're just going to have to see what we can do. Miami, not really a track I have become too familiar with. It was added onto the Formula 1 calendar right around the time when I was fluctuating in and out of sim racing. So really haven't made myself familiar with this venue that much. And I think in SRL, if we're speaking in esports racing or sim racing terms, I think I've only raced here once. And if I remember correctly, I might not even have finished that race. So yeah, it's not a track I go well at, but that cannot be an excuse to underperform. We need to do our very best, and that begins here in SQ1 as we are ready to fire away here on the start of our first lap. So let's see what we can do into turn 1. A hard right corner. It looks to be a little bit of traffic there. Hopefully not too much. I would highly appreciate that. Closing up to someone here. Oh, just about got a warning there. I think we get away with it. And no invalidation. I'm not quite sure. Oh, right on the edge there as well. As we're closing up to someone here. I think it's a Ferrari. No, it's a McLaren. My bad. We're going to jump off the ERS here. Piastri. Passing him. No problems there. And I can tell you that practice didn't go according to plan. It was a bit of a messy situation in practice. The only practice session we had. And coming into this one, I'm not particularly on top of things, unfortunately. Let's spout some more ERS here. See what we can do. Into the final corner. Good braking zone here. We're going to get a small slipstream, maybe from Alonso. Not quite. And over the line. It's currently P4. It's a decent first attempt here. I think that should be decent enough to get us into SQ2.
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
At least I hope so. There is some improvements to be found. That is for sure. There is definitely in this section of the track, there's a little bit of improvements. We ran a little bit wide coming out of this corner. We're going to let the Alpine through here. Colapinto. But yeah, Hulkenberg just behind us, currently on the timetable. Sainz crucially also behind us. So we should be in the mix for SQ2 as Colapinto lets us back past him. That's interesting. Ooh, very close to the wall there. Gasly ahead of us. And the Frenchman has been on a good run of form here in the recent races. He managed to snatch the last point last time out in Jeddah, preventing us from scoring any points. So he is becoming a bit of a rival at this point in the championship for us. So we touched the wall there, but we're heading into the pits. And P6 at the moment, it's not too bad. Piastri slower than Gasly. That is surprising. But yeah, at the moment, doing okay. And we're still having a decent start to the season. I think maybe following this race, we're going to see some contract negotiations, maybe. Some renewal of some perks. Who knows? Always difficult to say, but hopefully we could be looking at some better perks. You never know. But at the moment, the fastest lap, a 1:26.4 set by Max Verstappen. And according to the timetables, we have the fastest middle sector. Just about a tenth faster than Verstappen's. So we are in the mix. Hamilton with the fastest final sector, and that is probably where we are losing the majority of our lap time. as Lando Norris slots into P2. Let's fast forward a little bit here. And most of the drivers who I expect to be in the top 10 currently also in the top 10. Ollie Bearman all the way down in P19, P18. Okay, so he did improve. Antonelli also all the way down in P19. Alonso down in P17. That is surprising. So maybe we're going to see some improvements from them. Let's just hope it's not going to be too substantial of an improvement. But let's see, do we make it through to SQ2? It looks like it.
Well, that concludes sprint qualifying. So much action still to come this weekend.
So no problems there. We go through to SQ2 in P9. And what about our teammate? He finishes in P19, so the poor runner form for Oliver Bearman continues. And surprisingly, both Antonelli and Alonso also out here in SQ1. Wow. Okay. That is interesting. That is very interesting, to say the very least. I was expecting at least Antonelli to be somewhere close to the top 10, but turns out that was not the case. And at the moment, Lance Stroll, the sole Aston Martin who made it through to SQ2, and he's going to have to see what he can do. Both Kick Saubers, though, making it through here in sprint qualifying. That is surprising. I did not expect that. Anyway, let's head out on track, shall we?
Okay, when you're ready, let's go.
Here for SQ2, see what we can do. There is some improvements to be found, definitely. So hopefully we can find that time and improve well enough to make it into SQ3. Because we have to remember, only the top 8 are going to score points in the sprint. I think maybe we are going to run a medium tire in that sprint. It's 10 laps. The softs are definitely not capable of going that distance, not on our car, with the high tire wear that we have had the unfortunate misfortune of experiencing in the last couple of races, especially in Jeddah. It was really rough, and ultimately the sole reason why we couldn't pull off any points with our comeback drive. That was going quite well, to be fair, but it is what it is. Oh, we overshoot a little bit here. We get a warning for track extension. Not too bad. But here we go. Hopefully we can do some good things on this lap. I would definitely hope so. Let's get a good start to the lap here. Square off the corner a little bit. Oh, a little bit of tire slip there. It's not too bad. And over the line to begin our flying lap into turn 1. Oh, and this section always a little bit difficult. We run a little bit wide there. It's not too bad. Ooh, car rotating quite nicely there. Do we keep it? We keep it on track, but run very wide through that very difficult corner there. Probably the most tricky part of the circuit, apart from the chicane that we are coming up towards. Oh, we make a complete mockery of that, and we are going to have to try and go again. We have enough fuel to go for one more lap. What about the tires? What did they say? Yeah, but we don't have a different tire set to to go with. So we're going to have to try and do it on this tyre set. Letting Gasly through here. And we're going to let the V-carb as well pass. Here we go. We're going to have to do it again. See what we can do. This time with a little bit less ERS, so it's not going to be optimal. It is what it is. You can't win them all. And that was much better through the first couple of corners. Now let's just keep it nice and pinned. Very close to track limits there. We get a good exit here. And we are half a second up on our previous first couple of corners. So that is nice to see. Now we just need to keep it tidy through the chicane. Keep it nice and tight here. Through the final couple of corners.
Right,
Much
we're right
better.
on the cusp now. We've been pushed down to P11.
Way better than the first attempt. And fuel-wise, we are gonna run on low fuel mode heading back to the pits. But that is just how it's gonna have to be. And across the line. Is it gonna be good enough? P11. Ooh.
Pitting this lap then. Coming to the pits at the end of this lap.
So maybe. And we're down to P12. So we're not quite where we want to be, unfortunately. That is unfortunate, but to be honest, expected. Stroll currently in P10. The position that we would have liked, and I think...
Less than one lap of fuel left now. The tank's pretty much empty.
Oh, we might not make it out again. How do the tyres look? They look good enough for another attempt, to be honest. We could probably do another attempt if we were quick enough. It's just... Oi, whoa. It's just a question of whether we have enough time, unfortunately. And we have a McLaren behind us. Let's not hold them up. And Norris goes past us. But yeah, Miami definitely not my favorite at all. And it shows. We are in low fuel mode just before the pits. So that is fine. Question is, can we make it out again? Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be really close. Into the pits. We're going to see if we can maybe fluke this one. I think there might be a little bit more pace in the car. 2.5 minutes. The lap time around here is not that long. If the team is quick with it, we could maybe squeeze one more lap in before the end of SQ2 is over. But I doubt it, unfortunately. We need to be wheeled back into the pits. We need to get refueled really quickly. I wish this was just something we could get done, like, on the fly.
All set, we're ready to go, so let's get the car out onto the track.
So here we go. Let's see if we can make it. We have 1 minute and I don't even know what the timer says. We didn't get a warning, so we should be good for time, hopefully. But we need to push on our outlap. Okay, 140. It's not too bad, to be honest. It's not too bad. But we need to be quick. No dilly-dally. And we are still in P13 at the moment. So improvements are needed. Question is just whether the tires are still good for quick laps. That is the question. We'll see. We'll see. We have 1 minute to go. We're down to P14 now. Lawson jumps ahead of us. And we need everything that the car has at the moment.
Okay, we've dropped into P14 now.
And first time since, I want to say Japan, that we are not on pace with the people around us. Let's see.
30 seconds left in the session.
Tires should be good for another attempt. We have 30 seconds remaining before the checkered flag falls. We're going to come around the final corner here. No dilly-dallying. We're going to make it, but we need to make this lap count. Let's see what we can do. Into turn 1. Oh, and we make a big mistake there. We lose about a 10th, unfortunately. And we are just going to have to keep pushing, but we lost 3/10 in the first part of the lap. Now we just need to do everything we can. Gain back a little bit of the time that we lost. We can definitely feel that the tires are not at the optimal grip level anymore. That was a good chicane though. We have actually done pretty well to turn this around. Question is this going to be good enough? We are close to 2/10 up.
We've been pushed down into P14.
Into the final corner here. Let's see what this is going to be in terms of lap times. Are we going to go through on the last attempt? Ooh, where do we finish? Oh, we finished P11. Oh, that was so close. So close. And who beat us? And how much did they do it by?
Well, that concludes sprint qualifying. So much action still to come this weekend.
So Gabriel Bortoleto finishes in P10. He is 0.005 of a second quicker around the lap than we were. And Charles Leclerc, what is he carrying? Is that a penalty that I see? 5 position grip drop for Charles Leclerc into, I think it's going to be the sprint. Ah, that was so close. Gabby beats us by 0.005 of a second. How unfortunate, but we really did improve over the course of this lap. And I do think if we had fresh tires, especially in Sector 1, we would have that cleared. We would have been into SQ3, no problems at all. And our little mistake on the first lap ended up costing too much. We should have pit instead of going for the second attempt. That would have been the smarter move. But it was close. It was a really close qualifying session, that one. I do have to say. That was nail-biting. I actually genuinely didn't think we would have a chance, but oh well, there we go. As you can see, sprint set to be dry, and then qualifying a little bit overcast, with the race being in complete rain. Most likely, probably on full wets. But let's see when we get to that part of the weekend. First, we have to complete 10 laps around this circuit to call ourselves ready for qualifying, and that is obviously because we have to finish the sprint first. So here we go. Let's see what kind of strategy we are handed. Tire wear is quite high again, mainly because it is very sunny. So question is if we should go... It's between the mediums and the hards. I don't think the softs are a viable strategy here in the sprint. But, I mean, you never know. You never really know, do you? Unfortunately. But yeah, sunny once again here in Miami.
Forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint.
And here we go. So very sunny indeed, 33 degrees Celsius.
The Miami International Autodrome is a 3.36-mile circuit that circumnavigates the Hard Rock Stadium. The track was designed with 19 corners and long straightaways to encourage close racing while meeting the highest safety standards.
Absolutely. I am considering the hard tyres. I will
admit that. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint.
But here we go. Let's see the
Lando
grid.
Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he will start from pole position. And Oscar Piastri completes the front row.
So double
As we
McLaren
continue through the rest
in the
of the
front.
grid today, we have
Who do we have behind?
Russell, Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Tsunoda.
Tsunoda
Sainz,
with a good qualifying,
Albon,
to be fair.
Bortoletto, and Charles Leclerc.
Gabby
Iceman,
out-qualifies
Lawson,
Leclerc. Wow.
Lance Stroll,
That is
and
surprising.
Gasly. Hulkenberg, Colapinto, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and Fernando Alonso. Behrman and Isaac Hadjar rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint.
So that probably means Leclerc's penalty will only be applied for the
Jakes.
big Grand Prix.
Anthony Davidson. So a sprint race today, and that means lights to flag, no stops. And how is that going to affect the driver behind the wheel?
Absolutely. So for today, there's no pit stop, or shouldn't be a pit stop anyway, if things go right, and you can forget about strategy. You're just driving today as fast as you can, make those overtakes if you need to, and that's what a sprint weekend's all about.
All right.
Okay, as you know, this is the team's home race, which means it's extra important for everybody in this team. They've got friends here, they've got family here, they're all in the grandstands watching. So let's go and put on a good show for them.
Absolutely. And it is a mix-up between either choosing a medium set of tyres or the hard tyres. This one is difficult, you know. Because obviously, I do think most of the grid is going to choose the medium. But looking at the difference, it's only just about 2 seconds of difference. And the hard tyres can definitely go the distance. We've had some problems with tyre wear, so I'm not taking chances this time around. We're going with the hard tyres. And it seems we are the only one. So that is interesting. We're going to be slow off the grid then, once the sprint race starts. But as we get closer to the final couple of laps, we should have the advantage come the tyre wear, or in terms of the tyre wear. So that is what I'm gambling on. We only need to advance 3 positions.
Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected.
And it seems like there is opportunities in this race. With Bortoletto being all the way up in P9. With all due respect to him, that's not really where he is supposed to be. And Hulkenberg is probably a little bit closer to where the Sauber's actual pace is. Leclerc quite far down, and we have shown ourselves to be capable of fighting the Williams drivers. They are currently in 7th and 8th. So we should have an opportunity to maybe grab 1 or 2 points here in the sprint. Obviously, all revolves around whether or not we can keep our front wing clean and intact on the first couple of laps. which we did find difficult in Jeddah. Unfortunately, we ended up spinning out and tagging the wall, losing a bit of the front wing. We had to make an early pit stop. And if we have to do that here today, make a pit stop, well, it's pretty much game over. So hopefully that's not the case. I need to warm up the tires quite well here to try and have a chance. Let's see what do... The front's still quite cold, but that is quite normal. Heat up the carcass or the core of the tire. Here we go. We're ready to get underway. We're starting on the outside here today.
Superb parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out.
Let's see if we can gain a couple of spots here off the start of this sprint. And then we work from there. We get a decent start. It's nothing too revolutionary. Down the inside of Charles Leclerc. He leaves the door open. We're absolutely going to take the invitation. Oh, the car almost spinning there. Yeah, we didn't lose a position at least off the start. And there's a bit of fighting going on between Albon and Leclerc in front. We just need to stick with them. And we should have an opportunity on either of them. We have the pressure of Colapinto from behind, so we need to keep our eyes peeled as well to try and defend from the Argentine driver. Here goes Leclerc on Albon. See if the Monegasque driver can get the job done. And we are going to sneak through as well here. Ooh, don't run into the back of Leclerc. We managed to sneak through on Albon. We're up into P10. Good little move there.
That start was okay. Now stay alert for threats around you.
Now we just need to stick with Leclerc. Maybe try and profit off him making a couple of moves. Oh. Whoa, the car almost going around there. That was close.
Okay, DRS is now available.
Leclerc braking quite early, heading into turn 1. But our tyre advantage is going to come later, so we just need to stick with Leclerc, profit off his DRS and his progression through the field. That is all we need to do at the moment. That was a poor corner. We are almost out of DRS. Did we lose it here? I think we did. Oh, that's a shame. I had to use a little bit of ERS then. Leclerc working away at Sainz, Bortoleto as well. Part of that battle. So the tail end of the points in this sprint. Currently fighting. We are back within DRS of Charles Leclerc. What do the tyres look like? Yeah, I think it was the right call to go for the hard tyres at the start of the sprint here, or for the sprint. Let's see what these three are going to do. They're working away at it. We have dropped Colapinto almost. And Sainz really working away here. Let's try and see if we can sneak through with Leclerc. Not quite. We can't get the traction down, unfortunately. To go past Sainz as well. And this corner is so difficult to get right. And Colapinto is right on our gearbox. So we need to be aware of that as well. I think Sainz might be running low on ERS, so we're going to push him a little bit here. Maybe send a dive bomb on the Spaniard. Oh, he leaves the room for the move. Fair play to him. And that has meant that we have lost contact with Charles Leclerc, unfortunately. Sainz still has the DRS though, so that is nice. Heading into the last corner. We're not quite able to pull alongside the Spaniard. We're going to try and save some ERS. I think that might be the play here.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 4.9 seconds.
Oh, not hot lap. We have a little bit more ERS now. We're close to Sainz, but he is also closing up to Bortoleto. So that is quite nice. Let's try and defend from Colapinto here. Oh, we overshoot the corner at the end of the straight here. That was a little bit bad from my side. We're going to try and save up some ERS through this Mickey Mouse section here. And we were successful in doing so. We're still within DRS range of Sainz, who's going for the move on Bortoleto. So good stuff from Sainz here. Whoa, big slide there. Lap 4 out of 10. Plenty of action already at the start of this race.
Still looking good.
Traction is so difficult around here. Oh, we cut that corner a little bit too tightly, unfortunately. And Colapinto is not letting us wait here. He goes for the move. Let's see if we can defend from him. He is on our outside, but we have the inside for this corner. Whoa! Big slide there. And the car is very, very loose at the moment. What is the tyre wear looking like? It's not too bad. Let's see if we can get a move on here on Gabriel Bortoleto. Whoa, he squeezes us quite badly there. Heading into the last corner, we get past the Brazilian. We definitely have a tyre wear problem around here. Let's see if we can close up to Sainz. Maybe get the DRS again. We have a little bit of clean air. See if we can use it. Maybe close those 5/10 that the gap is at the moment. Oh, we get another warning there. Running it a little bit close now. Need to be careful of not cutting too many corners. Otherwise we're going to get a penalty. We do not want that. We are so close now. One more position and we'd get a point, which would be very, very nice. Tires are really starting to go off. It's quite annoying, actually.
Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
I know, Mark. I know. I can't really do anything else. I'm just trying to do my best at the moment. Oh, we have a yellow flag. Who could that be for?
Green flag.
So someone behind us, presumably, to go by that. And it looks like it is Alex Albon who is having a problem. Just spotted him on the minimap there. And that's unfortunate
okay, we're
for him.
only 2 seconds behind the car ahead. Keep pushing.
And Sainz really seems to have the pace here today, which is quite unfortunate. But we're by no means done yet. Oh, we make a mistake here. Let's... we get a 3-second time penalty for that one.
Okay, this is Mark. I need you to stop cutting the corners. If you keep it up, the stewards are going to give you a penalty.
Yeah, well, there goes any chances we had.
Okay, we've been given a time penalty.
Point.
It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race. Get your head down and let's get it done.
That's unfortunate. Anyway, we're just going to have to crack on. So the sprint here today is not going to be a success. Bortoleto and Colapinto are going to jump in front of us.
Gap to your teammate behind, 7.4 seconds.
And we just haven't been able to figure out this track right here today. Whoa, look at that. At the moment, we're really struggling. I don't know what it is. Whoa! Oh, we managed to keep it in a straight line there. Pointing in the right direction. That was really close. How bad is the tire wear?
Try to stay with them. They might make a mistake and we can
still regain the position. The tire wear is so bad. What is going on? I do not know what is happening. Yeah, we seem to have totally no control over our tires in the last couple of races, and it's really starting to annoy me a little bit here, unfortunately. Because these tires, like everyone else is on a medium tire, they're making it work. Let's assume that Ollie is not really making it work either. Ah, this is annoying. But we can't do anything about it, unfortunately. It is what it is. We're just gonna have to power through. Hopefully the wet weather come the actual Grand Prix is gonna play into our favor. Whoa. Oh, and there we go. There goes the whole front wing. I do not know what to do about this tire wear. It is insane.
Damage to your front wing, damage to your front wing. Suggest we box to change it. Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
There's not really any point to it, unfortunately. But we are going to complete the sprint, of course we are. I'm going to let our teammate past here. Come on, Ollie. Yeah, the tyres are... I do not know what is going on with the tyres. It's crazy how high the tyre wear is. Let's take a set of softs to go for one more lap. And then we'll end on that one. but we're not retiring the car. What an annoying race, unfortunately. And absolutely not the way I would have wanted this to go.
Right, let's go, come on! That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres.
See if we can combat the tyre wear for the next couple of races, but yeah, especially Jeddah and here in Miami,
okay,
it seems to be a big problem.
Final lap of the race, final lap.
The tyres are like, it seems like when the tyres are good, the car is like, I want to say a top 6 car, but the tyre wear is so aggressive that we're just not able to fight with it at all, which is a real shame. But it is what it is. We're gonna come around and we're gonna complete the sprint at least. But we're gonna do it in a very lonely P19, last of the finishing drivers. And we're gonna have to find something for the actual race if we want to have any hope of a good result. Because this was a disappointment, to say the least.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
P19 after what was a good start to the race, but the tyre wear is just destroying any hope we have of currently getting a good result, which is very annoying, unfortunately. But there we go. P19.
Well, that concludes all of the sprint action. We are so well set up for an incredible weekend of qualifying and the Grand Prix still to come. We'll see you next time.
But at least we completed, so there's that. But yeah, there's something wrong with the tires. There's something completely wrong. I do not know what it is, but we're gonna have to figure something out. And our stats do take a knock from a poor showing in the sprint. What can we do? Might have to look at the tire setup we have on our current setup. But there's not really much else I can do, unfortunately. But we get a chance to maybe iron out some of the mistakes that are within the setup as we go into qualifying, as Parc Fermé is lifted. That is very, very nice and very generous of them.
It is driver versus stopwatch.
It's a little bit more overcast.
It is a venue that is new to Formula One in recent years,
it seems.
But you have to dance the car to the edge. It is Miami, it is qualifying. Who will take the pole?
So here we go, ready for qualifying. Hopefully a better result than in sprint quali. That would be nice, as we're just looking through the data there. I am curious though, because I didn't really give that any attention, unfortunately. What is the tire setup like? Ooh, okay. Interesting. That is a little bit interesting. Quite high front pressures. What was the overall look on those tires? Let's have a look. The hard tire, there we go. So 41% wear. And the lifespan was expected to be 16 laps. That was never going to happen. I do wonder. Because this is obviously fast for qualifying. But I am curious whether or not this is going to do us any favors. I mean, I could try lowering these pressures. Maybe go around here. Let's try, I mean, we can try what we want. We can try a few things. Let's try... And if anyone is wondering, no, I am not quite sure what I'm doing, but we're going to have to try something to mend the mistakes. We're going to try and do that. And yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see.
Complete. We're ready to go.
It's definitely going to upset the balance a little bit, whether or not it's going to help. Because the car was very eager to rotate, that is for sure. Maybe this has stabilized it a little bit. We'll see. We'll see. And we are going to push it on the outlap. So just going to try and push it as hard as possible here on the outlap. See if it's made any difference. I mean, the car feels okay. Let's keep taps on the tire wear. If it helps us or not. Because that is the only thing I really care about. Is trying to figure out what works. Oh, as we knocked the front wing again. No.
Damage to your front wing. Damage to your front wing. Suggest we box to change it.
We're making way too many mistakes here in Miami for this to be a good round. A little bit fast into the pits there. No problems, thankfully. But we're making so many silly mistakes as well. It's not really helping our case when we are having trouble with the setup of the car. It is unfortunate. But there's not really anything I can do about it, unfortunately. I'm gonna try and have a quick look at what the recommendations are for something like this. Let's see. Because this is not gonna fly, unfortunately.
Car repairs have set us back a little.
And see what kind of tire pressures everyone else is running. Or some people are running. They're running high tire pressures. Okay, interesting. Let's see what we can change here. We can still change this, so let's try and crank the tire pressure. See if it helps. If not, we can always lower it a little bit. But I think this is okay. Let's go again.
Right, the car's ready. Let's get it out there.
Let's see what we can do. Hopefully this changes the problem. It was especially on the rear tires that we had a lot of trouble with keeping the tire wear under control. So hopefully by increasing the pressures on the back, this is going to help us. But let's see. It's definitely going to do something to the overall grip for the car. But I'm not too concerned with that, because we did have good grip with the overall setup. We just need a little bit more control over the tire wear. Well, if we can get that, we should be right where we want to be.
Okay, we've been pushed down to P13.
So let's see if this quick tweak has fixed things. Hopefully it has. We can only hope at this point. But we are ready to begin qualifying here. Our first flying lap in Q1. Let's see what we can do. Over the line to begin our lap. Let's see if we can get something that is competitive. It wasn't too bad the first couple of corners, but also wasn't the best. Oh, that's a little bit wide there, unfortunately. But an okay first sector. Nothing too amazing, as Leclerc takes fastest lap here in Q1. We're having a lot of trouble through the Mickey Mouse section here. Not a particular fan of that part of the circuit, I do have to say, but I don't think that is a sentiment that is necessarily controversial for most people who watch Formula 1 and also play this game. But over the line here in Q1, what's it going to be like? P13. It's not too bad. Could be better.
Understood. Stopping this lap.
But taking into consideration that it was also on a warm set of tyres that had already gone, what, 3 laps? I think it was.
And that's P13. P13.
I think it's okay. There's definitely improvements to be found. We are going to see if we can find those improvements, because at the moment we're currently only 2 spots away from getting knocked out. In terms of tyre wear, has it fixed anything? Difficult to say.
Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Very difficult to say. But I think it might have helped. Oi. Again, we're very close to the walls here. Ooh. You can see there's threats of rain looming in the clouds, as it seems. Back to the pits with us. Good thing is we are ahead of our teammate, but that doesn't necessarily bode well, considering that he's only made it through to Q2 once this season. So, not necessarily a good thing to compare ourselves to him. Again, a little bit fast into the pit lane. Not too good of a thing to be doing. We have more in the locker than we currently have shown. I completely messed up turns 4 and 5. Got the profile of those 2 corners completely wrong, and didn't necessarily push as hard as I could through the middle sector and the Mickey Mouse section. So there is a little bit more time, maybe half a second to be found over the course of a lap, which I guess we are going to try and extract, because at the moment 1:26.2 is the provisional fastest lap, and we are only just a bit faster than Oliver Bearman and Kimi Antonelli. The cutoff time at the moment A 1:27.99, so Ollie is quite close to being knocked out as well.
Everyone ready? Okay, let's go.
At least we have the upper hand on him in this championship. At least so far. But we're going to give it another go here, see what we can do. I want to beat Hulkenberg at least. And Hamilton down in P11 is quite surprising. Oh, we almost spin it. Coming out of the pits. That is not a good look. So let's see if we can clean up the silly mistakes.
We've been pushed down to P13.
And maybe make it through. It has to be said though, we have increased the AI difficulty. We did that last time out in Jeddah. So we are currently running 108% AI difficulty. Only 2% away from the highest difficulty on this game. So obviously that could also play into things. That we are at the moment battling with probably the highest AI difficulty I've ever played around with, which is saying something. But here we go. I'm gonna try and improve our lap here in Q1. Get a little bit more pace extracted from the car. That should be possible.
Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now.
We're heading through the first 2 corners. We gain about a 10th, so that was quite nice. Very tight there through those 2 corners. Almost over-rotated the car, but that is also where you want to be. You want to be right on the edge. So at the moment, 2.5 tenths found. That is quite good pace to find. Now through this very tricky section here. That looked quite clean. Yeah, we've found
and
just about
P13,
half a second.
P13.
As I predicted that we would. We found about half a second, so that is quite nice. Into the final corner. Get the exit spot on. And here we go across the line. Go from P13 all the way up into P6.
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
So solid stuff there. We did find the necessary pace. And we are comfortably secured promotion to qualifying number 2 here in Miami. And that is the pace. Look at Gasly though. Up in P5. Sainz in P4. Stroll in P7 and Hadjar in P8. This grid is all kinds of mixed up, I have a feeling. This is exciting. Maybe there are a couple of drivers who are starting to feel the wear and tear on their engines going into this race. I know we were last time out in Jeddah. We didn't quite have the top speed that would have been comfortable to have around a track like Jeddah. But I opted to wait until this race right here, where we could maybe produce a good result in front of the American fans, given that we are driving for an American team. But that was a very solid qualifying lap. That was exactly what we needed to find. Still a little bit too fast into the pit lane. I need to clean up my act on the pit entry. Otherwise, there is the risk that I am going to be penalized come race day. But yeah, this was exactly what I was looking for. That's the improvement that we needed. And seems like the tire wear isn't too bad now. So that is nice. So we're getting wheeled into the garage. We should be comfortably through. Still in P6 at the moment. But we are significantly closer. We're almost within a second of Leclerc's fastest lap. But here we go. Q1 done. And we finish in P10. Gabby and Nico. The Kicksaubers are really punching above their weight. I do have to commend them for that. They are... I don't know what they are playing at, but this is crazy. And what about Ollie? Oh, he doesn't make it through again. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's only by 0.03 of a second. Shame, 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 Ollie. But look at this. I mean, Alonso gets knocked out here in Q1. So does Yuki Tsunoda. Antonelli was quite close, actually, and so was Hamilton. Russell all the way down in P13. And meanwhile, as I said, both Kicksaubers in the top 10, and Alpine all the way up in P5, and Carlos Sainz very lofty in P4. So all kinds of twists and turns showing up here. Oh, and we have a problem on the car.
Okay, here's an update. We've got a leak in the hydraulic system, so it's going to be a few minutes before we can get you back out on track, I'm afraid.
That is totally fine. And let's have a look here. So at the moment, with the tire set that we used on the last attempt, it's still 8% tire wear, but that is on the highest tire. So I think that is quite good. I do think that is okay, actually. As everyone getting ready to...
All clear the garage, please. Car's ready to leave.
Set some laps here. So let's get out on track together with them. It looks overcast. But we do know also there is going to be rain during the race. So no wonder it looks overcast. We're going to have to be on the lookout here, coming out of the pits. We have a Kicksauber behind us. That is Hulkenberg, currently in P11. And an Aston Martin of Lance Stroll behind us as well. Going to get out of the way of the Canadian here. There we go. And then there should be a little bit of clean track behind us before we have to let anyone else through. And a new set of tires here in Q2. Let's see what we can do with that. And this weekend definitely something that just feels like we need to get it over with. Absolutely not my favorite track at all, but can't win them all, as they say. But let's see what we can do here in Q2. Starting our first flying lap. Heading into turn 1. Let's see what kind of lap we can put together. That's quite a good first part of the lap. All right on the edge of track limits there. Not quite getting the run through turn 6 there as I would have liked. It is what it is though. Now we're flying down towards this corner right here. Let's not overshoot it. We had to turn out of that, otherwise that would have been trouble. Not the best chicane. It was better in Q1. But we managed to navigate it so far. And we are quite rapid, it seems. Now, is Stroll gonna hold us up here? No, he gets out of the way. Thank you very much, Lance. The final corner. I feel like that's the first time we've hit the apex of that corner all weekend long. And over the line into P5 ahead of Alex and Lance. So good attempt here.
Pitting this lap then, coming to the pits at the end of this lap.
And behind Verstappen. So at the moment looks quite decent, I want to say. Decent first attempt, it would seem. And Hamilton slower than our lap time. So we might have put on a banger of a lap here. That is quite nice to know. And we look set for Q3 once again, which is very, very nice indeed. So let's head into the pits and just see time out. See if we can get the pit entry right this time. Yeah, this time it went well. That was nice. But yeah, Lando Norris, fastest lap. We dropped to P6, so he hadn't posted a lap time yet. So, I mean, that is to be expected. We are, at the moment, in a good spot though. Still plenty of positions below us that we could drop into before we need to start worrying. Unfortunately, we don't have a new tyre set that we can use. We would have to do it on this tyre set if it was necessary. But I do suspect that it might not be. Let's see. Yeah, it looks fine at the moment. Both Ferraris behind us at the moment. Interesting. And if we had improved just about a 10th, we would have beaten Max this time. Interesting. But let's see. There shouldn't be any trouble progressing through to Q3. So we're just going to wait time out here. And we should be good for another Q3 participation. Once again. We dropped to P8. So I do think both Hamilton and Leclerc improved there. Hamilton did, and so did Alex as well. Interesting. So Leclerc drops out here in Q2. So does Sainz, both Kick Saubers and Gasly. And look at this, Antonelli has a 5-position grip drop for the Grand Prix. Interesting. But we make it into Q3 once again. And we need to see if we can trouble the front drivers. I am suspecting that we might not have the pace to do that. So we might have to settle for a P8 or something like that. But that would also be well good around a track that I'm not as comfortable at. But let's see what kind of lap times are the other drivers capable of putting down. 1:26.4, so it's around the same lap times we saw in Q2.
Okay, engines fired up, we're set.
And has the track conditions worsened compared to Q2? That is the question. But we are ready to give it a shot here in Q2. Or Q3, sorry. We find a nice little pocket of free space here. So that is quite nice. Good thing we come out where we did. And I need to see if I can get this corner right on this attempt. So I haven't been able to do it so far, and it is probably where I'm losing most of the time around the lap. But this is a much better showing than we did in sprint and sprint qualifying. So good to see that we have found the pace that I thought we might have lost coming into this weekend. That is very nice. So let's get the car ready for this run. Warming up the tires a little bit here. And here we go. Let's see what this is going to be. If this is going to be competitive. Whoa, big snap of oversteer there. Not the best start to the lap, but we can work with it. Heading into turn 1, touch the wall there. And that was a decent run. Whoa, the car almost letting go there. Oh, yeah. Oh, that is a big one.
Wow, that was a heck of an impact. Let me know you're okay.
I'm pushing just a little bit too hard there. Yeah, that proved to be fatal. Or not fatal. Well, for the car it was. Luckily we make it out. Oh, that did actually hurt my thumb a little bit. Tried to save it, but poor accident there. That actually did hurt a little bit when we hit the wall. Knocked my thumb. Ouch. And that's I think that is the first time I've retired the car in a session due to an incident. No, we did it in Japan as well, of course. We didn't finish the race. But yeah, so we're going to start the race in P10. No, we might actually start it in P9 because of Antonelli's grid drop. So there we go. That's unfortunate. And probably not the morale boost or the boost that we would have wanted heading into what is going to be a wet session. Question is whether it's going to be wet enough for the wet tires, or is it just going to be intermediates? We'll see. Let's see. It just says wet conditions. Track humidity. I don't know if that is the humidity percentage. I would imagine so. But 68 or 86%. And then it's going to drop. So rain is probably going to ease off towards the end of the race. But it's probably going to be full wets. If anything of the information that we have been told there is to go by. Which I do hope it is. And that's going to be interesting because I haven't driven this track in the wet yet. So that's going to be a first. But these things are something you just can't prepare yourself for these things. You're just going to have to take it as it comes and we'll see what happens, I guess. But intermediates or wets, that is the question. We have used the intermediates at the beginning of this season. So I do know what they feel like. I'm not so comfortable with the full wets. But let's wait and see. Let's see what it is. that to me
Florida
doesn't
is no
look
stranger to world-class sport.
any
The USA
more
Sunshine
wet
State
than
now on
an
the
intermediate
F1 calendar
tyre.
in a truly wonderful city. It's the Miami Grand Prix.
Yeah, that looks like intermediates to me. Definitely.
Well, it's certainly not sunny here in the Sunshine State. A lap of the Miami Grand Prix features 19 corners and 3.36 miles of track around Hard Rock Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
These conditions should prove especially difficult for our drivers today.
Probably, yeah. Probably. But yeah, intermediates
So with the race not
is
far away from
what
starting,
I'm expecting.
here's what today's grid rundown looks like.
Well, let's see. What's the grid looking like? Well, we obviously know.
Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Lewis
He beat
Hamilton
Hamilton by
alongside.
quite a far
Looking
margin.
at the rest of today's
Wow.
grid, we have
Impressive.
Piastri, Russell, Isaac Hadjar, and Stroll.
Interesting.
Iceman, Leclerc,
Oh, we're starting
Gasly,
P7.
Gabriel
Wow.
Bortoletto, Antonelli, Sainz,
Antonelli has a penalty.
Nico Hulkenberg,
So does
and
Norris. Who else
Behrman, Alonso,
has a penalty?
Yuki Tsunoda, and Liam Lawson.
Let's look at the back of the grid.
Colapinto, and Alex Albon picks up the last spot on the grid.
Okay. Albon.
Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
So plenty of penalties, and we get elevated
Welcome to
to
the commentary box. I'm
P7.
Alex Jakes. Alongside me is Anthony
Oh, yeah,
Davidson.
that's
Well, it was an
intermediate
excellent sprint
at
yesterday,
best.
but we're back to the usual format
And
now.
look
How
at
do they
that livery.
continue what they started?
Absolutely. You know, they're at one with their car. You could see that in the sprint. That's why they were successful there. And you've got to carry that through into
Calling
this race
our
today.
sprint
And in a way,
successful,
we've
that's
had a
probably a
snapshot as well
stretch.
of what this driver's capable of.
But, yeah, start position of P7. That
Okay,
is
here
quite
we go.
nice.
I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
I'm going to take a little bit less fuel this time around. Intermediate tyres with a one-stop. I don't see why that's not possible. So here we go, starting quite far up. And Stroll as well benefiting, so does Hadjar, starting in a very, very lofty P5. And I would be hoping that we can maybe beat these two off the line. I would love that, if that was possible. And with new engine components, I mean, who's to say that's not possible? Ooh, don't run into the back of Lance here. But a good starting position then. It does, however, mean that we have the likes of Hamilton, oh sorry, not Hamilton, Leclerc, Russell and other fast drivers
We'll
coming
be
from
seeing at
behind.
least 20 minutes of light rain.
So 20 minutes of this rain, that is gonna probably equate to just the end of the race. Ah, that's not math. The lap is probably going to be close to a 150, maybe 145 in the wet. So that's probably going to be around lap maybe 15-ish. We're going to start to see the rain or the weather change. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit of a dry patch at the end, and then we're just gonna have to be on top of things. But yeah, last time it was wet, it actually went pretty decently. If I remember correctly, that was in Suzuka, which it didn't go too badly there until we unfortunately retired due to pushing a little bit too hard. We're just going to take it easy here today and not brave it out. Try and be a hero. So let's see what we can do. We're going to start on the outside once again. Worked quite well for us last time out. Gonna angle the car slightly.
Decent parking. Let's try and get a good launch as the lights go out.
See if we can get the jump
Okay,
on
so
Stroll.
that's the rest of the grid
Potentially
forming up now.
Hadjar.
Be patient and watch for those lights.
Let's see. We're ready to get the race here in Miami underway. Let's see if we can get a good start. Well, that's a brilliant little start here. Hadjar goes for the inside to protect himself. That's going to give us the opportunity to go all the way around the Frenchman. And there we go, up into P5. Now it's just a question about whether we can stick onto the track. And these conditions are definitely not the ones that the cars enjoy the most. Oh, bit of a wheel slip there. But we increased 2 positions off the start. Hadjar got a poor getaway and we benefited from it. So good stuff here at the beginning of this race. And they are fighting here in front. Hamilton defending from Piastri and Russell. And as a result, we are able to just stick with them. Obviously no DRS, so we're not quite there.
Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward.
It seems we have broken away from Gasly. Hadjar has broken a gap, opened up a gap to his fellow Frenchman. We're just going to take it nice and easy into the last corner here. No need to risk anything. And it looks good so far. Heading into turn 1. Also taking it nice and easy. These first 2 turns, very difficult. Car's not quite able to take these conditions as well as I had hoped, but we have plenty of ERS to burn, and that is the good thing about the wet weather. You usually don't run out of ERS. Let's take a look at the fuel situation. That is okay, to be fair. That is well good. Hamilton and Russell going at it. Whoa! What an overtake by George Russell on his former teammate of Lewis Hamilton. And the fuel situation is decent, so no problems there. And here comes Hamilton. He goes back past George Russell once again. This is looking like this season's kind of racing. The 50-50 split of power. And Verstappen leading away, it seems. And we are in a very comfortable spot at the moment. These conditions are not too bad. They are greatly helping us, that is for sure. Run a little bit wide here, coming through turn 10, or not turn 10, turn 6, my bad. Let's try and flick it into none here at the end of the straight, see if we can maybe help ourselves. With the recharge. Oy. Touched the wall there, green flag behind, so there's been an incident.
Virtual safety car, virtual safety car. Reduce speed immediately and keep a positive delta.
So virtual safety car, someone has crashed, I think. Interesting. We can recharge a little bit.
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta's negative, which means you're going too fast.
And I think it
your pace.
might have been Hadjar, because he is gone. He's not the car behind us, it's Gasly now. And this virtual safety car is taking quite long. Now it's ending.
Okay, VSC ending. We're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
And we lost a bit of time to Russell there, but I wanted to be on the safe side, not risk getting any sorts of penalties going through the S's. We're just going to have to catch back up to him. But Gasly at the moment, the driver behind us, he's 3.4 seconds behind. So absolutely zero pressure from behind at the moment. And that is nice and comfy for us. Now we just need to settle down. Whoa. Big slide there. Tires need to get back up into temperature. What are we saying? Tire wear is not too bad. It's not too bad. We are pulling away from Gasly as well, so that is also very nice to see. Four seconds is the gap right now. So we are comfortably sitting in P5 at the moment. Seems like the changes we made...
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Is helping out quite nicely, especially on the rear tyres. So that is nice. I say that as we drift through turn 6.
So gap to the car ahead, 2.3 seconds.
Sector 1 is definitely not our strongest part of the track. We lose so much time through there. And then in the final sector we gain it all back. I don't feel like we are far from a slick tyre at the moment.
Light rain will stay with us for at least 20 minutes, maybe more. Light rain is here to stay.
Okay. Tyres are overheating at the moment, so we need to work on a solution. You can see the rear tyres when we were flicking through the MFD. Slightly overheating. So gonna just settle down a little bit. Not work the tires as hard. Just get them under control.
Okay, mate, we're seeing a lot of tyre wear at the moment. Please try and look after them.
Tyres are really overheating. The core is overheated like crazy on the rears. Let's see if we can get it under control, maybe. Or if that is just the case for these tyres now. 101 degrees Celsius on the right rear. It does not seem like it's cooling down. It's increasing in temperature. So does this help if we go off-piste, off the racing line? Oh, and we brake way too late there into turn 1. That was not my intentions. No, it just seems like it is the current state of the tire. We just need to do our best with the tire wear, unfortunately. Seems like it's overheating. Can't really do anything about it.
And gap to the car in front, 5.5 seconds.
So we've lost Russell, but we're still defending from Gasly and Stroll behind. We got that corner a little bit there. But yeah, at the moment, we're just gonna have to survive as long as possible. Ideally to lap at least 14. Maybe even try and go longer. What are we saying in terms of...
Tyres are degrading fast. We can change strategy if you want. Check your MFD for details.
No. Why did you have to come on the radio when I was asking for a weather report? Oh, that's so annoying. I'm not gonna answer him, because can't do that through Sector 1.
Okay, so this light rain is going to be with us for a while now. Okay, not sure whether dries or inters are faster. We're right on the crossover.
Alright. So we're going to try and extend these intermediate tyres as long as possible. And then we'll see what happens. At the moment, tire wear is so high. It's crazy. I can't keep them under control, unfortunately. It is what it is. We can't do much more than what we're doing right now.
Okay, gap ahead, 7.3 seconds.
Thank you. We're gonna have to find a solution to this tire wear problem.
Okay, that wasn't quite what we needed there, I'm afraid, but listen, not to worry. Get your head down and chin up, and let's focus for the rest of this race.
Yeah, unfortunately, nothing we could do there. Trying everything, but look at the tire, they're just skyrocketing at the moment. There is a dry patch though starting to form, I think. So we might be close to a set of slicks. Gasly is right on our rear now. For some reason I just can't get these tyres under control. Clearly not the right play to go with higher tyre pressures. It's so confusing. Because lower tire pressures also doesn't seem to work at the moment. So I'm really stumped for what ideally to do. Getting wheel spin in 5th gear at the moment. And Gasly is trying stupid moves now. We're just going to have to try and defend as well as possible, but look at that rear right. That is very close to exploding. Here comes Gasly to the inside. We're going to try and hang it around the outside of him. That did work. We're going to have to pit earlier than what we initially thought. There's no tire life left in these tires.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please. We're seeing dangerously high levels of tyre wear now, and we're going to be in trouble unless you either nurse them or come in for a fresh set.
Yeah, but we have to box. I can't do anything about the tyre wear. I really cannot do anything. There we go. Into the pits. Way earlier than I would have liked, but it's what it is.
Okay, off we go. Back into the race. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
Thank you.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Highly doubt that, but okay. Still raining though. Very low grip at the moment. Might we have messed this one up? I do not know. Let's see. In terms of...
So this rain could be with us for a while. Light rain conditions for the foreseeable future. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now.
Ooh. So Mark with an interesting one there. Dry tyres potentially could be the best choice. That's interesting. We have closed up to this little scrap here quite quickly. I need that one again, Mark.
We'll be seeing at least 20 minutes of light rain. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Okay, interesting. So he thinks the dry tyres could be a viable option soon. What does the heat of the tyres look like? Looks okay for now. I'm gonna have to try and get past these two here.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
Ah, but another difficult race. And it just doesn't seem like we can catch a break at the moment. Let's see if we can get Colapinto here at the end of this straight. Gonna burn a little bit of our ERS. Gonna go to the inside here of the Argentinian. Wow! What is he doing? Crazy.
Great manoeuvre. You made it look so easy.
Absolutely crazy defense there from Colapinto. Wouldn't even call it a defense, that's a murder attempt on his side there. That was insane. Anyway.
Light rain will stay with us for at least 20 minutes, maybe more. Light rain is here to stay.
Okay.
Right, a gap to the teammate ahead of us. 2.5 seconds.
Thank you. What are we saying in terms of the tire? The tire's already starting to overheat. Haven't even had them on for 5 laps. This is insane. Look at this. The rear tires are exploding, it seems. See if we can get past Albon here. Send a little bit of a cheeky dive bomb on the Thai driver. Squeeze him a little bit. There we go. We're past the Williams driver. Up next, our teammate. And he better let us pass without any problems. Hopefully. Trying to be as gentle on the throttle as possible at the moment. It's really not easy. What are we saying? The tires are still overheating. We're gonna have problems all race long with this tire set. We're gonna have to make a 2-stopper here, and that is not ideal. That's so annoying. Because there's nothing I can do to try and lower the tire temps. It doesn't work going into the off line, or going offline to try and cool the tires where it's wetter on the track. Send one on Ollie here. So it was not going to let us pass.
Okay, gap to the car in front, 2.1 seconds.
And this is going to be another very, very difficult race. Look at this. People are starting to make their first pit stops. So about 5 laps later than us. And our tires are overheating yet again. Up into P12 at the moment. Doesn't really mean anything, unfortunately. Because we're going to have to make another stop. Hopefully it could stop raining.
Okay, mate. Engine's running very, very hot. Engine's running hot. Let's try and keep it cooler.
It's not the engine that's too hot, Mark. It's the tires. It seems like Ollie has the same problem. Because he's really fallen off ever since we overtook him. Now we're on the back of Gabriel Bortoleto. See if we can get past him. Here we go, let's see. And he has Alonso in front of him. And that is the outer points paying position at the moment that Fernando is occupying. And they both go into the pits. Alright. So people once again making their first stops. Back up into P5.
Ollie's in the pits. Ollie in the pits now.
So we come out ahead of Gasly. Managed to do him one there. Whoa. A little bit of a tank slapper there. As Ollie is into the pits, as Mark said.
Right, Ollie's coming in for his stop. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 14.7 seconds.
Thank you. And right now it's probably the most difficult part of the race. We're gonna have to make another stop. But if we can maybe keep it in P5 until that point, we could have something on our hands. What are we saying in terms of the weather?
Okay, so this light rain is going to be with us for a while now. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now.
He must be drunk. I don't think the dries are the right tyres right now. So we've gone about 10 laps on these tyres.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 21.7 seconds.
I do imagine that they could maybe be forced to make another stop, the other drivers as well, so might not be the worst thing if we also make our second stop soon. Let's see what are the tires looking like. They're not too bad just yet. Whoa, Gasly, that was crazy. I almost lost the car there. Squeezing to the inside.
Okay, we lost the position. Try to keep focus.
Yeah, but Gasly is putting pressure on us now. We're going to come in around lap 19. Then we have 10 laps to go. That should be fine. Then we have a fresh set of intermediates to go to the end. Because these tyres are not going to last to the end.
Great stuff. It looked like you made easy work of that target. Let's try and keep that going right through to the end of the race.
Almost contact there with Gasly. Tyres are a really big problem here. I think we're going to box at the end of this lap for another set of intermediates. It doesn't look like it's going to stop raining.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
So we're just going to have to do the unfortunate two-stopper, see if it pans out in a way that could be beneficial to us. I think points could still be possible, even on a two-stop strategy, as we are defending from Gasly here. Whoosh. Bit of contact there with the wall. Nothing too serious, I think. And Leclerc is now with us. So it's not quite going to be a P5. That's also fine. Not too fussed about that.
Just a reminder, mate, temperatures are vital for tyre wear, so try to keep them green, please.
That's easier said than done. We're gonna box at the end of this lap. And make our second stop of the day. And then we're gonna try and chase down the pack. See what we can get from this race.
Okay, mate, that's it. Go, go, go. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that.
We make it out just ahead of Alex Albon. Good stuff. Now we just need to go after the drivers in front of us. See what we can get away from this race. Up next is Gabby Bortoleto for P15. I do apologize. Let's see what we can do about him. We need to make quick progress as well. Albon thinking about going for a move. Realistically, he doesn't stand a chance. We're trying to combat the tyre wear here. It's all we can do, really. And unfortunate scenario to be in, but this is also gonna show what we're made of as a racing driver. Oh, big wheel spin there. Didn't even touch the curb. The tyres already overheating. They are. Oh, we need to cut the corner here. Otherwise we would have ended up into a wall there. Thankfully no warning, because we didn't gain a whole lot of time. This race is doing my head in.
So this rain could be with us for a while. Light rain conditions for the foreseeable future.
And here comes Albon. Hopefully doesn't try anything ridiculous. No, he backs out of it. Now the tyres should start to rubber in, and the next, I want to say 3 laps is going to be when they are best, so we're going to have to utilize them as best as possible. What is going on? There's just no grip.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 1.6 seconds.
It just feels like there's no grip at all. Yeah, this is one of the most painful races I've been a part of. The track, I'm not comfortable with the track, I'm not comfortable with the conditions. Tires are overheating like crazy. And the car is just unbalanced like crazy. I mean, it's absolutely horrible. Oh, and we cut that corner a little bit too aggressively. This one is not going to be remembered as my favorite race. We have to get on the throttle so cautiously. Tires are have chronic overheating. I can't get close to Bortoleto. No, the traction zones, I'm losing so much time to Gabby that I can't get close enough to him to mount an attack. And it's all due to the tire wear. He gains so much time on me in the traction zones around the track that I'm just not able to get anywhere close enough to him that I could realistically mount an attack. Slip up the inside here. Look at the traction that he gets. It's insane. We're gonna get him here, thankfully. Heading into the last corner. Up next, Fernando Alonso. It's unlikely we're going to catch him.
Teammate behind, 6.7 seconds.
And Mark said the funny thing. Yeah, we really need to work out these tire wear issues. Otherwise, we can kiss any hopes of points in the future goodbye.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 4.6 seconds.
He's gained a second on the previous lap, as Fernando. This is insane. We hit the wall again. There's just no grip at all around the track. There's a bit of a train forming ahead, so if we can catch up to them, we would be within striking distance of potential points. That does mean we would have to close up to.
We're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
Look at this. This is horrible. I am aware that it is the setup, but it shouldn't be this difficult. You should be able to drive offline to get, like, cooled the tyres. It's just
okay,
not possible.
Mate, we need to save up some ERS, so let's focus on charging it up, please.
No, Mark, why are we saving up ERS now? This is also the other thing I hate. This is a track that the game obviously knows is notoriously difficult to save up ERS around. And it gives me this stupid goal at this ridiculous time of the race where I'm trying to catch the drivers in front. And he's like, yeah, we need to save up some ERS. It makes zero sense. I'm not listening to him. I'm taking things into my own hands here. trying to catch up to Fernando and the group in front. Hopefully trying to salvage something from this catastrophe of a race. We are closing in now. Ever so slightly. If we can just eliminate the slips and slides, in the first sector especially, we should be good. I say that, it's just a chronic drift fest all the way through to 6th gear. But we are starting to catch. That is the positive thing. Hopefully we can keep it up. We can see Fernando in front of us now. There's just no traction at all.
Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 2.9 seconds.
Yeah, but we're not closing him down fast enough, unfortunately. Oh, man. Oh, yellow flag. What is this all about? That looks like a slow-moving Aston Martin. And it is... Who is it? It's Alonso. Oh, no. So we're going to gain a position free of charge. Instead of chasing down Fernando, now we're chasing down Lance Stroll, his teammate. But it doesn't really make a difference. Tires at this point are absolutely bloodshot. Oh, we cut that corner a little bit tight there. Yeah, coming around. This is what, lap 26?
Grip is probably dropping due to wear, so don't be too aggressive.
Oh, Mark. Sometimes I just wish he would have a sense of, like, you know, feel the room, you know. You can probably see that I'm struggling with the tire wear. And I don't need to know that the tires are going off, because I'm quite capable of making that conclusion myself. Taking into consideration that the rear right tire is at 61% at the moment, I think I'm quite well aware.
We'll be seeing at least 20 minutes of light rain.
That the tire wear is in a dire place at the moment. But what can we do? I mean...
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 a lap.
Unnecessary information once again. Keeping the car in a straight line right now would be... it's such a challenge. I need to figure out what I did wrong with the setup, because I do not know what's gone wrong here.
And gap to the car in front, 4.6 seconds.
Because the tyre wear surely can't be this bad for everyone. Or not. This is surely only me who has this problem, right? This is not a car-specific problem, right? It's horrible. Stroll made it past Lawson in front. It's not like it makes a difference for us. What a horrible race. At least we're going to finish. But we're going to have to find something, or find the problem for the next race, Imola. I can't even rotate the car. It over-rotates on its own at the moment. It's so bad, the tyre conditions right now. Look at this. I'm in 5th gear and getting wheel spin on a nearly dry track. Should not be possible. I do not even dare look at what the tyre wear is and what the tyre temps are at the moment, because surely it's going to be like, oh my days, 77%. Well, we do only have to complete one more lap. So hopefully 108 degrees. Oh, that's a little bit of aquaplaning there, unfortunately. Almost ending our race. If we could just finish ahead of Bortoleto, I think that's fine. Job done. And all of that stuff.
Okay, gap ahead, 3.7 seconds.
We are closing up, but it's too late, unfortunately. So beginning the final lap here at Miami. Horrible race coming to an end.
Okay, mate, that still wasn't quite what we needed, I'm afraid, but look, let's move on. Get your head down and chin up and focus till the end of the race.
Now the car is just over-rotating every single corner, barely putting any throttle input, and it wants to step out.
Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap.
No wonder why. We have a puncture on the rear right. I think we might have a puncture. Oh yeah, we definitely do. Let's see.
You're losing pressure in the right rear tyre. The right rear may be running a slow puncture.
Yeah, we have a puncture on the rear right. We're gonna have to nurse this one back home. Ooh, don't hit Bortoleto. Whatever we do. We need to nurse this car back home now. Whew. So puncture on the last lap. I did have a suspicion that it was going to happen, but I was willing to take the risk.
We think we have a slow puncture. Box now.
I'm aware of that, Mark. Don't worry. And there goes Albon. And here comes Colapinto. We're just going to slow down before the braking zone, so that we don't end up taking any of the other drivers with us in a potential incident. Can we finish ahead of Ollie though? Let's see. We might even finish ahead of Ollie here, and we do, despite having a puncture. Oh, horrible race.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Oh, what a horrible race. That is absolutely horrible. I need to look into that, see what the problem was.
He has left the entire field behind once more. It's victory for Max Verstappen.
But Verstappen once again wins another
race. A great display of dominance today by this driver. They led from lights out to the flag at the end, led every lap of the race. Brilliant stuff by them. And excited to see what more they can do in future races.
And he's joined by Piastri and Russell on the podium.
So much to talk about. We will continue to do so. But first, it is time for the podium. Well, we've seen this one before.
From Red Bull.
Max Verstappen on the top step once again.
And Piastri home in second, Russell home in P3. So good stuff for all three teams, all three drivers. I do not know, I'm not quite sure where Lando finished, because that could have some consequences for his championship lead, depending on where he finished. We will see. We will see. But yeah, thankfully, we are over with that one.
Well,
absolutely
that certainly
horrible.
was an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
Norris finishes just outside the podium, so not too far behind. So it's all good for him. And, oh, that's so unfortunate. Sainz finishes inside the points, so does Gasly. And that means they close up to us in both the Constructors and Drivers' Championship. At least we completed the race. And yeah, we do take a bit of a knock on some of the stats, unfortunately. But it is what it is. We're still the driver who finishes the furthest ahead whenever we do finish. So, some good progress being made here. But, yeah, that's a horrible weekend that comes to an end, unfortunately. Whew. And I am happy that is over. Hopefully we can find the problem before the next race. As I said, we get a few upgrades as well, so that is quite nice. Let's see. Oh, come on. What about the other updates? Yes, we do get them. Oh, and another upgrade. Yes, let's go. So we do get a few upgrades. That's quite nice. And that opens up additional upgrades for us. Let's see here. The durability, we did have one that failed. Let's see. And we get a supplier upgrade. Okay, dokie. Very, very nice. You like to see it. Which part was it actually that failed? I don't even remember. Maybe Ollie has already started developing on that. Let's see. But yeah, we have some decent sized upgrades. Let's have a look at this. This is a major upgrade. So we're getting into the major upgrades at the moment. This is also a major overhaul. Some good upgrades that have been unlocked. That is ready for purchase. What about this nose cone here? That's also a major upgrade. Alright, so we're getting into the grit and grime of the R&D progression here. We do have enough for this, which is already in development by Ollie, I can see. So that is nice. Do we have anything here that we can purchase? Not quite. So we do have to gain some more resource points before we can make another step. But speaking of steps, we have taken the leap and we have jumped in front of Aston Martin in the development race, and now we are 5th in that pecking order. We are still quite far behind Ferrari at the moment, but so far so good, I would say. It looks decent. It looks decent in terms of development. We have... Oh, we do have a major engine power upgrade in development that is set for June 5th. Whatever race that would be. Not quite sure. So there's something to look forward to. As for the championship at the moment, Alpine and Williams, they do close in on us. They don't overtake us. But Alpine currently on 17 points, Williams on 15. So they are close. And as for the Drivers' Championship, we lose a spot to Yuki Tsunoda, who had a pretty decent weekend, to be fair. I think he finished... Where did he finish last time out? He finished in P6. All right. So he had a good race, and that means he overtakes us in the Drivers' Championship. But still, 11 points gap to Pierre Gasly, who's currently in P10, ahead of Isaac Hadjar, who's on 10 points. So far, so good still. But yeah, a really, really poor weekend from us. Hopefully this weekend can be a little bit better for us. Round 7, we're heading to Imola, and definitely a track I'm looking forward to. So I am slightly more positive heading into round 7 than I was heading into the previous race, I do have to say. And speaking of upcoming races, what do we actually have upcoming? We have Imola. Oh, then we have Monaco. Not my favorite track, but it's alright. And then Spain, Canada, and Austria. So a good stretch of some pretty decent European races coming up. And Europe is always the most exciting part of the Formula One calendar, in my opinion. So definitely looking forward to the upcoming races more than I have been for especially Saudi, Bahrain, and for Miami. So I'm very much looking forward to the next episode. Hopefully we can do better than we did today. And if you don't want to miss that, I would highly encourage you to both like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell. That way you won't miss whenever I decide to go live. And apart from that, I just want to wish you all a very blessed day. And until we see each other again, have a wonderful day and goodbye.